There's a lot of talk these days about where we get our food and how it's raised. How's our food grown? What actually happens on a farm? With so many voices in the conversation, who's right? Making food choices for yourself or your family can be intimidating, even scary. America's farmers want to help you understand. So we went to the one place where the farm meets the table, a grocery store, to ask Nebraska consumers what they wish today's farmers would do.
I wish today's farmers would use less water.
We are using less water now than what we used to, and there's been some great technology that's enabled us to do that. For instance, we know that certain soils need a certain amount of water, so we will only water according to the soil needs of that particular field.
Growing crops is probably where the most water is used, and we also want to use as little water as possible because it's expensive to pump water. And so our cropping practices have a great effect on that. One of it would be the no-till practice, which allows the residue to stay on top and hold water in. Another one would be crops that are genetically bred to use less water, and that's becoming more and more a factor, so that crops can be grown in areas of the country that receive less rainfall.
We are using less water today than we ever have. We use a number of different methods, one being most of the seeds we plant are drought tolerant, drought resistant. They'll raise more crop on less water. We're also using moisture sensors at the 1, 2, and 3 foot level in the soil. They're placed into the soil, and it tells us what the moisture level is there.
I'm a livestock and grain farm, and we have no irrigation with our grain crops, and all we depend on is the rain we get from Mother Nature. And as far as the livestock, the only water we use there is pretty much for the watering of our animals, and that is not wasted. We only use what we have to.
In terms of water and the efficiency when it comes to irrigation, it really boils down to when you need water on your plants and how much.
There's concerns about how much water we use on our farms and feedlots today. Due to technology, especially the genetics and the improved genetics in our crops, we are able to use less water to grow more bushels of corn and soybeans. In the feedlot, the water that we use is returned to the earth naturally. We use water in our sprinklers to keep them cool. They drink water, but all of that water eventually returns right back to the soil. Our feedlot has a holding pond that holds all the water. And to make sure the water quality is safe for the neighbors around us, we have monitoring wells that are placed at different points around, above and below that holding pond. And samples are taken in the spring and the fall of every year. Those tests are submitted to the state so that water quality is ensured.